2025. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on our agenda tonight is our minutes. We have one set of minutes from July 16th. Do we have any corrections or additions to the minutes?
I didn't have any changes or corrections.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 2 is Employee of the Month, and the Employee of the Month cannot be here tonight, so we're going to table that until our next meeting. We have a Super Service Award, Tina Grange.
Hello, Commissioners. As always, I just start off with the nomination. This was a great one, and they usually always are, so I'll just go ahead and read that. Said, we felt like Josh was incredibly helpful from the time our F450 truck broke down while towing right across the street from the 9 Mile RV Resort in Wellington to when we left. He was a true ambassador for the 9 Mile Resort, for Wellington and the whole Carbon County. He walked us through all of the great things we could do in the area with such a sense of pride that we would vote for him for mayor of Wellington. He would be an excellent representative at the Visitor Center in Price because he is knowledgeable about what's going on in the area and he makes it all seem so accessible. Every time we chatted with him, we were blown away by how much he knew about the area and the pride in which he shared it all. It's clear he cares about this area. We were so inspired by what he told us. We got to do as much as we could while we were here. It was clear that so many people just pass by 9 Mile RV Resort and they don't know what they are missing. So I'm happy to present the Super Service Award for August to Josh Patterson with 9 Mile RV Resort. I guess you can guess who those people were.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Do you want to say anything?
Congratulations, Josh. Yeah, you're welcome to say something.
I mean, I remember this particular instance. Unfortunately, it was when we had one of our few rain spells, and they had broken down just across the street, and were able to fortunately get their truck running enough to where they could get parked, and then got them lined out with the Ford dealership here in town. And then while they're waiting on repairs and parts and things like that, like it stated, I did go and get information for them of different things to go check out and the different activities for them to experience between Helper Saturday Night Vibes and the 9 Mile Canyon, the different museums and things like that. So,
Well, thank you again.
Thanks, Josh.
Our next item is not on the agenda, but I'd like to invite Amanda McIntosh to come up. There is a effort to highlight suicide prevention and awareness. The month of September is a special month, so
Yes.
why don't you read this proclamation that you...
Oh, well, can I read what I wrote first and then we
Yes,
can read the
absolutely.
proclamation? Wonderful, thank you. I know that it's super early to even be talking about September. We're just on the 6th day of August, right? But between all of the wonderful events that happen in September and especially the ones that I host, it's difficult to get away in the evenings. So I appreciate you today. So I'll just read what I wrote to respect your time. Excuse me. Thank you for your time today, and most importantly, thank you for your thoughtful consideration and support in proclaiming September as Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month in Carbon County. As many of you know, suicide prevention is not just my profession, it is my passion and my purpose. I serve on the Utah Suicide Prevention Coalition Committee that works alongside local mental health authorities, health departments, and suicide prevention coalitions, throughout our state. This committee reports to the newly established Utah Behavioral Health Commission, which is responsible for the bills that play a critical role in shaping and supporting suicide prevention legislation.
I also have the privilege of sitting on the Utah Survivors of Suicide Loss Council, led by Dr. Michael Staley and his team at the Utah Office of Medical Examiner. Additionally, I also serve as a board member for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's Utah chapter, currently as the board secretary and newly appointed co-chair of the Public Policy Work Group. Oh, and in my spare time, I work full-time as the suicide prevention liaison with Four Corners Behavioral Health. But above all that, most important role I have is being a mother to a daughter who lost her father to suicide, and I am also a surviving widow. We carry that loss with us every day, and it fuels the work I do for our community. It's been just over 11 years since my husband died, and while grief has shaped much of my life, it has never stopped me from fighting to make sure others don't feel the same helplessness or isolation that we once did. I often and unabashedly refer to myself, and I'm sure others have too, as the loudmouth for rural suicide prevention, but that's only because I want Carbon, Emory, and Grange County at the forefront for anything that could benefit our communities. I'm just one of the many squeaky wheels that gets the grease for us, so I serve nationally, statewide, and locally for all of Carbon, Emory, and Grange counties. I've been working in suicide prevention for our 3 counties officially for almost 7 years now, and while I'm incredibly proud of the progress we've made, I'm not naive to the amount of work that still lies ahead, but I'm up for the challenge because our community and our community members are worth it. By proclaiming September as Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, you are doing more than issuing a statement. You are giving a voice to those who have lost someone to suicide. You are helping to destigmatize mental health and normalize help-seeking behavior. You are saying loud and clear that here in Carbon County, we care deeply about this issue and we are willing to act even in small ways like a proclamation. This proclamation may sound data-driven, and it is in part, but make no mistake that at the heart of those numbers are real people, real stories, and real pain, but also real hope. With more education, training, and more community-driven resources focused on prevention, intervention, and postvention, we can reduce suicide. This proclamation is a beacon of support. It's empowerment for survivors who have carried undeserved shame and guilt. It's a reminder that healing is possible. And it's a bold reinforcement of the message that it's okay to not be okay, and no one has to face that alone because we, as a collective, are here to help find not just okay, but better. Together we can and we will continue building a community where connection, compassion, courage, and hope saves lives. Thank you again for your time, your partnership, and your support. I invite each of you to continue this momentum by joining us at our annual Candlelight Vigil in recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day, taking place on Wednesday, September 10th at 7 p.m. at the Price Peace Gardens, or join us for our Southeast Utah Hope Walk on Saturday, September 13th, a day of remembrance, unity, and hope. Together, let's hope together. You want me to read the proclamation, or would you like to?
Tony's gonna.
Tony's gonna read it.
I've been
I've been practicing.
selected, so. The proclamation's a proclamation by the Carbon County Commissioners, proclamating September 2025 to be the Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. Whereas the state of Utah has consistently been in the top 10 for suicide deaths since 2012, currently 7th in the nation versus 2024 reporting of 9th. And whereas Carbon, Emory, and Grange counties often lead the state in suicide deaths per capita, and whereas the people who lose a loved one to suicide are 30% higher at risk of ending their lives to suicide as a learned coping mechanism and learned behaviors. And whereas the risk of suicide can be reduced through awareness, training, proper education resources, and treatment. And whereas, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention statistics, suicide is the second leading cause of death among Utahns aged 15 to 24, the second leading cause of death amongst ages 25 to 34, second for ages 35 to 44, fourth for ages 45 to 54, fifth in 2024, fourth for ages 55 through 64, ninth in 2024, and 18th for ages 65 and older, no change since 2024. And whereas suicide affects everyone, suicide is everyone's business, and suicide is one of the most preventable deaths that can be avoided by 1, learning the warning signs of depression and suicidal ideation, 2, knowing how and when to ask one's suicidal thoughts. 3, being aware of life-saving measures. And 4, familiarizing ourselves, with the resources available locally, such as Four Corners Community Behavioral Health, statewide, such as Live On Utah, and nationwide, such as calling or texting 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Now, therefore, we, the Carbon County Commissioners Jensen, Martinez, and Haddock, on the 6th day of August 2025, do hereby proclaim September 2025 to be Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the county of Carbon County, and encourage all residents of Carbon County to recognize how serious suicide is and the steps each of us can take to protect those around us from this preventable tragedy, one with devastating generational and community-wide effects.
Thank you. Since this wasn't on the agenda, we can't vote this time, but we will next time. So,
Wonderful. Thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate your time.
Good, and we appreciate you coming tonight. And you would not be available next week's or next meeting. So,
That's correct. So,
thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All you do.
Thanks.
Item 4 is Miss Carbon County Year in Review.
Hello, thank you for having us. We're going to start off with our mini Miss Carbon County, Adeline Jones. Why don't you stand on my legs here?
Do I need a... Where's Courtney's stool when we need it? Huh? Not this Courtney, sorry. The other Courtney.
Oh, I want.
What an amazing venture this year has been. I've learned so much about my community, and I have loved serving it. This year I went to the Schofield Parade, and we squirted water at people, and they squirted us back. It was the biggest water fight ever. I rode in Jeeps with the tops off. I giggled and danced with my pageant sisters. I give someone a trophy with my daddy at their derby. I went to go sub for Santa. I had fun.
Thank you, Adeline.
Hi, I'm Paisley Jenkins, Little Miss Carbon County. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve this community. Some of my favorite events were the shoe drive, Color the Town Purple, and Sub for Santa. This opportunity has made me grow in both confidence and character. And the word of advice I would give to the next Little Miss Carbon County is if you don't know your pageant sisters yet, you will grow a strong bond with them by the end of your time. And thank you again for everything.
Thank you, Paisley.
Hi, I'm Taylor Brower, Junior Miss Carbon County, and I wanted to thank you guys for letting me have this opportunity to serve in Carbon County. And my two favorite parts of this year was serving with my day of service, and my platform's called the Little Voice Movement. The Little Voice Movement is built around making sure that kids speak up, stand out, and spark positive change in their community by using their voices. So then I went around in the 4th and 5th grade classes and taught them about confidence, because I struggled with self-confidence in the 5th grade because a group of kids were bullying me, and I didn't know what to do in that moment. So I taught them how to handle confidence and how to handle bullying, and taught them how to make kindness cards, because I really think that everybody in the community should just be kind with each other. I also loved Sub for Santa. I just loved picking out all the toys for the kids and picking out Sorry. What else was there? Oh yeah, and we got to go with Santa and dropped him off, and I just loved seeing the kids' faces light up and seeing them being like, oh look, Santa got me all these presents this year, and it was just a really fun experience this year. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Berkeley Brady. I'm Miss Teen Carbon County, and I want to first of all thank you guys for this opportunity of serving our community of Carbon County. So as Teen Miss Carbon County, we have a platform. My platform is #SocialMediaSmart. So when I was 12 years old, I had someone private messaging me asking for personal photos, and then later this person tracked me. And I've always had a strong passion for social media safety since then. By going around to schools, I created a book actually, going around to schools and sharing my book and sharing my tip cards and giving out little bracelets, sharing my platform #SocialMediaSmart. I also got to go to Miss Utah's Teen this year and compete at the state level. And I got to implement my platform and see a bunch of amazing girls and represent Carbon County. And me and Shalise got to go on an Ensenada trip, to a service trip, and got to give kids food and toys and got to hang out with them. And that was truly amazing. So that was just a little highlight of my year, and I want to thank you guys for everything.
Thank you, Brooklyn.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shalise Rahala. I'm Miss Carbon County 2025, and I want to begin by thanking you guys for giving us the opportunity to serve this year and to giving so much to our organization. And not only that, but showing up to prep for mock interviews and just really getting into our organization and being with the girls, and it just has meant so much to us. But I just want to begin by this year has been nothing but anything I could have expected. It's everything I wanted all in one. And I am so glad that I was able to give back to the community, get involved with my community, and see what we needed as people. From September month of suicide awareness, it was so touching to me. My platform is Caring About Health is Loving Yourself, and it focuses on mental health awareness. The schools sadly around here do not talk about suicide awareness, and so I thought if we begin with mental health and self-love, that can help teach us so many things. Personally, having mental health issues and knowing family friends who do as well, I can relate so much, and I wanted to give back to my community and helping those in need. I am so thankful for this year with spreading my platform and going to Miss Utah and spreading it statewide. That was such a great opportunity and something so special to me. And Miss Carbon County has not only given me a platform and a voice, but I'm so glad to say that I get to continue my work even after Miss Carbon County. We went to Ensenada for a humanitarian trip, and that was so special. Being able to give back to the kids, toys, food, hygiene kits, school supplies was truly touching and life-changing. I am so grateful we got to go there and serve the kids, and something I'll never forget. Helping with the Kiwanis Club, whether it was Sub for Santa or any other community event they threw, it was truly nothing but short of amazing. And I am so thankful for this whole year and being able to have my royalty sisters. I'm so sad it's coming to an end, but this is a bond that will never break. And again, we just wanted to thank you for everything this year. Thank you.
Thank you all. Let's give them a big hand. We also need to step down and take a picture with them.
Oh.
Yes.
I was like, it doesn't
Do
matter.
theirs first. It's fine.
Mine's just for.
Okay, ready? Big smile. Yeah, but only going to the newspaper, no big. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Next item on our agenda is consideration and possible approval of resolution number 2025-03, adopting the Carbon County Transportation Master Plan. So Daniel, and you guys want to come up and give us a brief explanation?
I'll be really fast so
Okay.
you guys can move on.
Tell us your name.
McLean Farmer with Johnson DeMille Engineering. We're the consultant that helps the county with this plan. So quickly, I'm just going to give a brief overview of what it is. And we've gone through the public process with this. We've had public open houses, advertised online. You guys had a public hearing a few weeks back, or it might have been more than a few weeks back, but gave the public an opportunity to come voice their opinion on transportation issues within the county. So what a transportation plan is it's a roadmap, no pun intended there, but a roadmap for the county. So looking at transportation issues such as congestion, safety issues, looking at future development and what future development could, what problems it could cause in the county and how to mitigate those. And so this plan really is just a roadmap, literally showing where the roads are going, should go when development does happen. And then basically creating those corridors that are critical for getting to and from each side of the county. And then looking at, okay, if these areas between those roads expand, the capacity of those roads is met. And so that's basically what it is. There's also a lot of projects that are on there for the public's sake to see what the county's planning in the future as well. And some policies and guidelines to follow when it comes to transportation corridors itself. Do the commissioners have any questions before we move on?
Tell us just a little bit about the grant that UDOT supplied for this and how that ties in with the Utah Department of Transportation.
Yeah, so UDOT has a grant called the Transportation Planning Assistant Grant, which Carbon County applied for last year. So this project has been ongoing for about 13 months. So to get to this point, it's taken us 13 months to get to adoption. And during the project, because of that, of course, we coordinated with UDOT on safety concerns on highways, congestion issues on highways, and the interaction of county roads with the highways as well. So part of this study also has a UDOT section that specifically outlines things that have to do with UDOT, not just the county itself.
Any questions?
No, I like the forward thinking too of getting in front of this potential growth that's going to be coming and having an idea of how to attack it. I think it's a great thing. So thanks for your help with that.
Yeah, no worries. Thank
Agreed.
You. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
he said it perfectly.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution number 2025-03.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, Daniel. Item 6 is consideration and possible approval of funding request from USARA, the Utah Support Advocates and Recovery Awareness for Opioid Settlement Funds. So we had a presentation in our last meeting by USARA, and so get Mackenzie and Mercedes, I mean.
That's okay. Still an M name. It was close.
Both of you, thank you for coming tonight. I think do we have any questions for them before we dive into this?
I don't have any questions. Just thanks. Appreciate what you guys presented to us and appreciate what you're doing in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we put it on hold for a couple of weeks, maybe it's been a month, to try to determine really where we're at with this. So the across the nation, the opioid problem was addressed by a lawsuit that was filed that each of the counties here in Utah were part of. focused at the drug makers of opioids and pharmacies that distributed it. And so money has been allocated to our county for to try to help with this problem. And we've received basically 3 different tranches of money. The first came from the drug makers, the second from the pharmacies, and the third is, well, it was, and I can't even remember the different names, but 3 different groups. And there's estimates of how much money is to come in to the county. And I might mention that in the last 3 years, there's been large amounts of money. In 2022, $859,000. In 2024 is $583,000. And in 2025, it's gone down now to $463,000. But so monies were committed to Four Corners, the health department, based off of percentages, and we've accounted now for where we're at with the money that's come in. And currently, we have an amount that has been uncommitted of $203,232. So as we've tried to decide where that best can be used, we recognize that USARA is an integral part of what's going on here, and we want to try to help. And so with that in mind, there's 2 things that we need to talk about. One would be that next year in 2026, the amount of money that will come in drops significantly to $371,000 estimated dollars. And so the question for us is, you've asked for some money, you've asked that it be ongoing money, and then how much. You ask for $200,000 in your request. So tonight we need to make a decision about this. And so do you have any questions? I mean, we've talked about it, outside of this meeting a little bit, trying to figure out where we need to be with it.
Yeah, and the hard part for us is that the money did come out in larger amounts and it's decreasing over time.
Right.
So for us to give an ongoing amount is tough.
Right.
So we've had to kind of kick this around in a couple different ways. And I think there's an amount we could possibly give this year, but it wouldn't be the same going forward.
Okay.
We'd probably have to have a request every year, and we'll have to balance out the sheets too of how much we're actually taking in. So we'd love to just give you the sky and everything you asked for,
Right.
but we have to be fiscally responsible as well to this fund.
Yeah.
So hopefully you understand that. Oh,
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it has, and it has nothing to do with, well, we're grateful for everything that you're doing. It has everything to do with the fact that we just don't have all the money that hasn't already been committed. But we want to give what we can. And the funds that you requested the last time, I think through Purdue and SACO, those funds haven't come in yet. But when they do, they're very insignificant. Talking 45,000 to 65,000, depending on the estimate. But again, we don't have anything until you have it.
Right.
So even if we were to commit, that would be unwise, because until it shows up, if you're counting on that money to show up, let's just say, and it doesn't, because there's a big difference between getting a judgment and executing that judgment,
Right.
to be able to collect on it. And so we just want to be careful with that. And
Yeah, so I in dealing with this pretty heavily, I would make the recommendation that we approve money for USARA in the amount of $75,000, and that leaves the rest of that to be distributed back through Four Corners mostly. They're in need of some more money as well. So that's my thoughts. Have a motion or any other thoughts?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 75,000 going to USARA.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
that
Thank
helps.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the opportunity. And will that allocation be specific to this year, or will that be an annual amount? We'll need to, I know you mentioned we need to do a request yearly, but is that something that each organization is having to request yearly, or are those allocations, are we starting at zero again each year is what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I think the problem next year is the funds are really going to reduce and we're going
Right.
to lose a lot. And so the amount that will be added from these other parts of the lawsuit is under 50,000. So it's just not going to change much. We've made commitments to Four Corners and to the health department.
And those are
And
annual commitments?
They are. And so the challenge with these programs is there's not enough money to spread very thin for programs that would go year to year. So currently, our requirement is both Four Corners, the health department. This year, we gave money to the hospital. It was actually last year. A very good accounting of what they've done with the money. And that there is no real commitment even to Four Corners nor to the health department in more than 1 year at a time.
Okay.
So we're trying to ensure that those dollars are spent in the most appropriate way where it's making a difference. So,
Right.
yeah, I think plan on coming back.
Absolutely.
And
You'll see lots of me.
okay,
I'm a squeaky wheel, no worries. I
So-
appreciate the opportunity.
And I just wanted to be clear that like you said, they do have to report back each year,
Beautiful.
just as we're asking you.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And
everybody's
we are
being
more than
treated
happy
equally.
to do that.
think
More
that's
than
important.
happy. And we appreciate the opportunity and the time.
so Seth, am I fairly close in? There's some uncommitted money right now that we could give them some money this year.
Yeah, I shared those numbers with you earlier, so
Okay.
I think you're spot on there.
Okay.
And will you prefer an invoice to come to you?
We definitely need an invoice. Thank you.
That can absolutely happen.
Okay. Thank you again for what you guys do. It's critical, and those that are struggling with addiction really receive some good help from you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners.
You bet.
Thank you.
Next item is consideration and possible approval of an interlocal agreement for the provision of indigent defense services between Carbon County and Price City. And I'm not sure. Lynn, do you know anything about this one?
I think we just needed to ratify it. Isn't that
So they're
correct?
again signed.
So that we can, and what this is for is it's also for an application for federal money to come in, and that the different attorneys that we have in the community can provide defense to those who can't afford it.
This is just an ongoing agreement that we've had in the past, just to add, if you don't mind. And it's, I believe, $8,300 that we're paid each month to take care of their indigent defense needs at Price City.
Annually, $99,600. And it takes effect January 1st, so it is retroactive and effect through June 30th of 2026.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions?
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve this interlocal agreement for the provision of indigent defense services between Carbon County and Price City.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 8 is ratification of the Cooperative Wildfire System Participation Commitment Statement for 2025. And Commissioner Haddock, do you want to explain what that is?
Sure. This is our commitment to the state. They require us to mitigate, to help bring down some brush in strategic locations to ensure the wildfires don't take off. And if we are willing to invest in that, upwards of around, I believe it's $273,000 of services and mitigation, they will then help cover the cost of a wildfire if one were to break out. So it's really a way to save us the $6 to $8 million that could cost us if we had a fire and we were unprotected. I view it as kind of an insurance, and not only for saving the county money in case of a fire, but more importantly to save the structures and the homes that we have in our community by doing this mitigation work. And I believe we'll be able to utilize in some of this the roads department to help us with some of that, and that'll help offset our costs. So we can account for all of their work as part of that $273,000. So it's not that we have to come up with $273,000 in order to do it, but as long as we do that work, that it equals that value, they'll be able to get it covered.
Questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we ratify the Cooperative Wildfire System Participation Commitment Statement for 2025.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 9 is a review and discussion of the Division of Fire and Forestry Stage 2 fire restrictions in Carbon County. So maybe we can just read this. It's Stage 2 fire restrictions issued across Utah. In Utah, due to the extreme fire danger, persistent hot and dry weather, and an increase in statewide fire activity, interagency fire officials are implementing Stage 2 fire restrictions beginning August 1st at 12:01 a.m. These restrictions apply to all state and private unincorporated lands of Utah. In addition, some federal land management agencies are also enacting Stage 2 restrictions on Bureau of Land Management, National Park Service, and U.S. Forest Service lands, except the Uinta, Wasatch, Cache, and Ashley National Forests. Note, incorporated cities and towns are exempt. So these restrictions do not apply if you're inside the city limits. Check with local fire departments or county fire wardens for local regulations and restrictions. So who is in Stage 2? It goes through all of the county across the state of Utah, most everywhere. It also what's not allowed. So these are the things that are not allowed in the unincorporated part of our county. Building, maintaining, attending, or using a fire or campfire is prohibited, including charcoal grills, pellet grills, or ash-producing fuel. Applies even at homes and in developed camping or picnic grounds. Pretty restrictive. Number 2, smoking except within an enclosed vehicle, trailer, or building at a developed recreation site, or while stopping in an area paved or cleared of dry vegetation. Number 3, discharging or using fireworks, tracer ammunition, or other pyrotechnic devices, including exploding targets. Number 4, cutting, welding, or grinding metal in areas of dry vegetation. Number 5, operating motorcycles, chainsaws, ATVs, or other small internal combustion engines without an approved and working spark arrestor. What is allowed? Properly shielded gas or liquid fueled portable camp stoves, with a shutoff valve with at least a 3-foot diameter area cleared of flammable vegetation. Activities conducted under a valid permit or waiver issued by the land agency within designated locations, or on-duty firefighters performing official duties. The violation for stage 2 restrictions is a Class B misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. I might mention, if you start a fire and cause one, you're liable for the cost of putting it out. And we're talking millions, so this is pretty severe. And you can see with the wildfires that are burning now, it doesn't take much to start one. There's been over 700 fires started, human-caused fires in the state of Utah so far this year. So it's can be a problem. So anyway, that restriction is in place, and it's being advertised many different angles. But if you have questions, get a hold of the fire department. They'll be able to help you. There's no action on that. It was just for information. So,
'Motion we adjourn.
we're adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.